Hello YouTube, I Fix It All here, Team I Fix It All. So another aspect to testing these ignition modules. Hang tight. Okay, I'm back. Another aspect to testing these modules is I got myself a little zip tie on the trigger of the drill, and I'm running spark out through the spark plug. I'm monitoring my PIP output, but also I'm monitoring temperature of the distributor right here. The act of energizing that ignition module and the PIP module together collectively is going to produce heat. And I'm theorizing that if there's a substantial amount of heat being produced, that means that the circuits inside there are functioning based on spark output being as generous as that is. My temperature probe isn't really calibrated exactly properly. However, I have a baseline to start with, so I'm monitoring temperature. And I'm not going to say that your setup is going to generate 135 degrees Fahrenheit, but I do know that when I turn my meter on, the temperature probe being a little worn out, it was reading like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, although it's not 90 degrees in the garage right now. It's only like 60, 59, whatever. But nonetheless, starting up the meter and knowing where zero was, which was 90 degrees Fahrenheit, I have risen to that value right there. Just accept the fact that I'm working inside the boundaries of a unknown, uncalibrated temperature probe, but it is increasing and decreasing in linear rate with respect to heat applied or no heat applied. So right now I'm doing about 140 degrees Fahrenheit, running at whatever RPM that zip tie has given me, and I'm producing spark. And I'll pause that. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I got to thinking, well, my bench test is not really accounting for something else. I want to verify that all of my parts, which over here I have verified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ignition modules are working with one particular brand new Ford Motor Company PIP module. All of them are producing spark. All of them are putting out a PIP signal. What I want to do is backpedal again, and I want to measure the heat dissipation produced off of each one to make sure that each one of these guys are getting warm enough to say, okay, electronics are in there doing their job. Because if one of these is still producing spark, but it's not getting overly warm, it tells me that it might be a module that could fail early, meaning it could be intermittent. Because that's the biggest problem with these ignition systems is I know in my Mercury Cougar right now, it left me setting. No, it didn't leave me set. It just shut down, and then I restarted, and I was able to get home. But this is how ignition troubles start with TFI type Ford ignition systems. They're intermittent. You never know when they're going to come back. You don't know how they act when they fail. The very I'm zoomed in too far again. The very best case scenario is that I test these out while applying heat to the distributor with a heat gun. And I've got one up here, a Wagner heat gun. right there. I could turn it on low. I could apply heat to the base of the distributor and then spin this thing up and let it run for 5 minutes. That's what I've been doing. I'm letting them run for 5 minutes and monitoring the temperature and watching the spark and making sure it stays bluish white and there's no skips. Applying heat, but this is just another technique I thought I would bring up to you all. See if you're producing spark during your bench test, as well as is the distributor itself getting measurably warm like this one is. So I'm going to backpedal into these ignition modules again and make sure that is the case. All right, guys, see ya. Bye.